Greetings, everyone, today, and welcome to the Words of Life with Sean A. Mitchell. Yesterday, we came from Psalms 25, and we were talking from the passages in verses 3 and 4, where the psalmist was saying, "Show me your ways and to teach me your paths." Well, we're going to connect today's more sure word of prophecy with yesterday's word, and we're going to begin to look today in Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16. And we're going to read today out of the New American Standard Bible. And it reads as following. This is what the Lord says. Stand by the ways and see and ask for the ancient paths, where the good way is, and walk in it. Then you will find a resting place for your souls. But they said, we will not walk in it. Here, Jeremiah is giving this particular word of the Lord. And what he says is this: stand by the ways. And so what do we mean by stand? We mean to abide, or we mean to dwell in. You know, Jesus talked about abiding in the book of John, right before he was going to leave and be gone to his father, right before, that he was going to get captured. He talked about abiding in him and bearing fruit and abiding in the word, and how, we are branches and he is a vine. And so to stand by the ways mean to abide, or to dwell in, or to remain, or just be fixed is what it deals with. Stand by what? Stand by the ways. And we talked about this yesterday, that the ways is a road. It's that course of life. There's a course of life that God has for us. And it's a journey. And remember, this right here, what we're talking about is to be a passenger. So stand by the ways, these ways, this journey, this pathway in which God has made for you. So the psalmist tells us to stand by, or rather, Jeremiah tells us to stand by the ways and see and ask for the ancient past. Here, where it says see and ask, the word see literally means to consider. It means to discern and to experience and to think upon, all right, to view and to have vision. That's what it means. It means to stand by this road. Don't detour off this road. Sit here and have vision is what it talks about. And then it tells us to ask, to inquire, to request, to demand, to consult, to pray, and to wish for. And so basically it's talking about being in communion with God. And what we are asking for is, we're asking for not just any path, the ancient paths. This word ancient in the King James Version, it actually means old paths. All right. It's something that is concealed and something that's out of time. This is from eternity. This is from the beginning of time. This is a way of heaven. Remember, Jesus tells the disciples how to pray, and he says, pray that thy kingdom come and that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And in order to get that, we're going to need these ancient paths, these things that are out of eternity or from the beginning of time. And so we are to ask for these ancient paths. I think that this is why a lot of times people are struggling in life, is because we have paths that are not paths or roads that the Creator originally intended for mankind. And so we've invented these things, or we've conformed to the world where Satan is the God of this world. And these paths that we are taking are leading us right down the road of kill, steal, and destroy. But God has, his paths are different. Jeremiah says this, where the good way is, and then walk in it. So the paths of God, this is where the good way is. That word good means best. This is the best way, or there is no other better alternative. It's a bountiful way. It's a cheerful. This way is easy. That's what the word actually says. The word ease is in it. And so that doesn't mean that it's necessarily easy as in you won't have any problems, but this is the best way in which you should go. It's the good way. And it's a pleasant way. It's the way of prosperity. The word sweet is even found when you look this word up. And the word wealth is there, and the word well favored. And so this is where grace is. That's what grace is. Grace is the favor of God, the unmerited favor of God. So this way is where you will find the grace of God, where the good way is. And then it says, walk in it, to follow it, to march and to pursue this journey. Go that particular way, walk in it, journey in this way. This is the good way. The ancient paths are the good way. And then it comes with a promise that if you will do all these things, what you're going to get, then you will find a resting place for your soul. Find means here to take hold of or to bring into existence. We could connect that with faith, but we just don't have time to go into that. So you're going to find a resting place for your soul. I don't know about you, but I like peace and I like to rest. So a resting place for your soul. What is your soul? Your soul, it is your mind, it's your intellect, it's your emotions and your will. You don't like your emotions here and there and bouncing all around. But guess what? When you find the good way and you walk in it, that ancient path, you will actually have rest in your emotions, in your intellect, and in your will. Having rest in your intellect means that you're not bouncing all over the place. There's not confusion in regards to the information you have. You're not double-minded, is what it's actually talking about. And so there's a rest that comes. This word rest actually means, it means, the root word, when you look it up, this is what it means. It means to toss violently and suddenly in a favorable manner. And so that's an interesting way of talking about rest. Think about rest from this point of view. Then an example to toss something violently and suddenly in a favorable manner is when Jesus told the wind and the wave or the storm to be still. And when he told it to be still, then we know that everything rested. Those disciples of his, those people who were on that boat, who was dealing with, unrest in their souls, they began to find rest. Why? Because the rest that was in Jesus, remember, Jesus was down sleeping, but the rest that was within him, when he came forth and he began to speak, and he began to speak violently and suddenly in a favorable manner, then everything stopped and everyone else was able to experience what he already was experiencing, a resting in his soul. But then it goes on and says, but they said, we will not walk in it. And so this is the problem with a lot of people today, not walking in the ancient path. And so God has this for you. And again, let's just read this one more time. Stand by the ways and see and ask for the ancient paths where the good way is and walk in it. Then you will find a resting place for your soul. I want you to meditate on this word today, this more sure word of prophecy. There's a lot of direction in it. And I want you to allow God to begin to show you how you can apply it to your life so that you will find rest for your soul. Please take this more sure word of prophecy and share it with someone else so they too can find rest for their souls. Bless you from Sean A. Mitchell Ministries and the Words of Life.